The real efficiency test. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, making government more responsive to the taxpayers is a noble and necessary pursuit. And if anyone can make headway, it's billionaire innovator Elon Musk. I mean, the guys like Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, and Henry Ford all rolled into one person. If he can get a massive rocket off the launch pad, certainly he can make real progress on Capitol Hill working with the DOGE caucus. But to all the naysayers out there, well, we know what Kamala Harris's approach would have been. She would have borrowed and printed money until the world decided to stop lending to the United States altogether. But as DOGE peels back the bureaucratic onion, Americans are going to learn a lot about what a joke Washington has become. Do you know that most federal workers have never returned to the office post-COVID? Now, back at the start of COVID, the Angle predicted that the same spoiled stay-at-home bureaucrats that we had been chronicling and discussing at the time for months and months, that they would not return voluntarily to the office because sending them home in the first place was a bad precedent. Many federal employees haven't returned to work full-time since the pandemic began. In-person work is expected for people like store clerks, janitors, airport personnel, but the average federal worker apparently believes staying home is their right. If they haven't been into the office for 2 years, how essential can they really be? Yeah, not essential at all. Now, that was 3 years ago. And where do things stand now?
How many federal employees are actually working in the office? By one estimate, it may be about 1% if you don't count the security personnel that are covering these buildings. That is absurd. One of the first things that I think you'll see is a demand from the new administration and from all of us in Congress that federal workers return to their desks and get back to the work that they're supposed to be doing. I think that is common sense.
Yes, yes, yes. It is a complete farce. None of you would get away with this. Why should the federal workers? They've got to come back to the office, or they just need to be fired. And every Republican on Capitol Hill, they should have been making a huge issue of this all along. How insulting this has been to the taxpayers. Now, many of these workers, of course, are not even at home. They're off to parts unknown, living their dream lives. Or, as this viral photo suggests, just chilling in a bubble bath. All right, every Republican on the Hill should be speaking out, demanding that this type of madness end. Now, if we can't agree on something like this, then how the heck are we going to agree on more complicated spending cuts, the type that DOGE wants to carry out? Now, even non-MAGA Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who's certainly no staunch, right-wing bomb thrower, says the people still at home, the federal workforce, they got to get back. Legislation is going to be needed. It should already be written. 53 GOP senators will surely support this. Thus, it will pass unless it's filibustered by Democrats. Good. I dare Democrats to filibuster this type of legislation. And over the House, well, we know there's growing opposition to Musk's work on DOGE.
Well, it's illegal. They haven't asked to meet with me, but the impoundment of funds that have been appropriated by the Congress is unconstitutional and illegal. There is no such Department of Government Efficiency. It's made up. So good luck to them.
So much for the hope that there would be this bipartisan outpouring of support for DOGE. There are a few people here and there, but Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, responded to the DOGE excitement, essentially feigning ignorance, then trying to claim that this idea was his all along.
It's unclear to me what exactly the objective is related to this so-called DOGE initiative. From our perspective, we want a federal government that is effective and efficient and equitable. And to the extent the other side of the aisle shares that objective, which is what is right for the American people, then we'll see if there's common ground that's possible.
Oh, okay. First of all, you heard the word equitable. Look out for that. And yeah, when all of us think of the word efficiency, we think about the House Democrats. Not. All right, the fact is, members of both parties, though, we got to be fair here on the Angle, they're culpable here, with majorities voting for budgets that over the years have funded things like, this list could go on, efforts to boost Egyptian tourism, because that's your priority, training for DHS employees to be their authentic and best selves. And I love this, just found this today, $4 million for an Alaska king crab enhancement project, $5 million for the Louisiana sugarcane research. That's courtesy of Bill Cassidy, thank you. You know, we could be here again all day long doing this list after list after list. And by the way, speaking of lists, the same waste and efficiency analysis must be applied to the Pentagon as well. It's almost, I think, $900 billion budget. It also needs major trimming. After all, it can't pass an audit for a reason, because there is a huge amount of fat to be cut there. And the Defense Department is where Vivek and Elon are going to find the most resistance, I believe, among the president's own party. Now, let's face it, they've never met a Pentagon budget they didn't like. This must change. It isn't 1984. It's not 2004. This is 2024. And we're $35 trillion in debt. Our interest on that debt is now over $1 trillion annually, and that will eventually kill us financially. But in the end, when you look at the full scope of what needs to be dealt with, there's not a lot of point in talking about reform to the big entitlement programs, which is a big share of the budget, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, which is a flashpoint in American politics, the toughest thing of all, until we can get substantial agreement on the basics. And on those basic issues, some of them we've just discussed, we got to smoke people out here. We have to get them all on the record. If you're not with the president's agenda here, you're going to be primaried as a Republican. Just understand that now. Then we can make real progress among both the Republicans and the Democrats. And that's the Angle.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.